Hey all, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. For this video we will be looking at all things Iron Man, so that will include a look at his core stats, we'll check out some of his costumes, and then we'll look at the different skill trees and a little bit of gameplay at the end of the video as well there. So first up in this video we'll start off by looking at the core, and that would include his primary attributes, offensive and defensive traits, his synergy, and also his insignia affiliation as well. So we start off here by looking at the offensive trait, and that would be Arc Reactor. Now with this it's quite unique. You gain 3% of your max suit power as actual damage, and we actually have a talent we can use as well that doubles that, so you get 6%. So for that reason on Iron Man you're wanting to stack suit power, and suit power is actually his resource, but we'll talk about that in more detail in a moment. For the defensive trait you have adaptive armour. So with this you can see enemies on the minimap, which is a nice little kind of flavour inclusions there. I do like that, the idea that he knows all that's going on around him. And we also have health regen. The multiplier he gets to defensive stats includes both defense and deflect as well. So when I have a look at this resource I've touched on a little bit a moment ago, and as mentioned this is suit power. So with Iron Man you don't have any spirit issues at all. You want to stack as much spirit stroke suit power as you can, because that will in turn allow you to do more damage. So it's quite an interesting setup he's got there. For his synergy it's ranged and energy, 2% for each, 4% in total. Of course it actually works out pretty well, and I find if I'm on a ranged energy character this will be in my top 10. For the insignias we have the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and also Shield insignias that you can use, and notable ones that I find I use myself would include Wasp and even Star-Lord. One works pretty great on him as well. So with the core of the hero out of the way, let's now have a look at some of the costumes he has. He has an absolute ton, and there will be a link within this video to a full video of all these costumes, but for the purpose of this one we'll have a look at some of my favourite ones. First costume we look at then is the Extremis armour. This is his default, recently had a visual update and it looks great now. We then have his Guardians of the Galaxy armour. This looks very nice, really different, and it also comes in a white variant as well. And then we have the shotgun armour. This is one of the actual drones he calls in at the end of Iron Man 3. I love the look of this. And we now have the Marvel now, which is a recent costume. I like it. It's really different with the black and the yellow. And then we have the Mark II. This is from the first Iron Man film. I like this just for the fact it's so different from the other costumes. And finishing up here we have the incredible looking Hulkbuster armour. I really do like this one a lot, and I'll actually show it off when I'm showing the melee skills later on in the video. But with the costumes out of the way, let's have a look at the signature and the ultimate. For the signature we actually have a move that he does at the end of Iron Man 2, and this is called the one-off. This is when he's surrounded by various robots when he's fighting alongside War Machine, tells him to duck, spins round, whips out the micro lasers and absolutely shreds the enemies. It's a really nice skill and it looks pretty great visually as well. So next up we'll have a look at the ultimate, and this is another skill that's actually from another Iron Man movie as well. So with the signature being from Iron Man 2, it only makes sense that the next skill up, the ultimate, is from Iron Man 3. This is called House Party, and with this he'll summon various suits to fight alongside him. So the suits that he'll actually summon in will be the Shotgun Armour, Starburst Armour, Heartbreaker Armour, Iron Patriot Armour, Hulkbuster Armour, and then finally the Mark V Armour. That's the rather awesome looking armour from Iron Man 2 that's in a suitcase when he's fighting Whiplash at the Grand Prix. I really do like that one a lot. But that's ultimate covered, so let's now have a look at some gameplay, and we'll start off by looking at the energy beam side of things. So we're now at the fun part where we actually run through some gameplay. So for this particular run through, we will look at the energy beams side of things, and we start off by looking at his spenders, and he has 3 of them. He has Repulsor Blast, which is the more iconic Iron Man repulsor shots. You then have Pulse Bolt, and that is an area of effect attack. Doesn't do as much damage in single targets, but great for taking out mobs. And then you also have Repulsor Barrage as well, which is really nice. That's actually one that's good at taking out mobs as well. For the vulnerability, we have Satellite Strike, and that's actually a modified version of Jericho Bomb that we'll look at later on. That's been transformed through a talent. You can see that firing off right now. Really does look pretty nice. Another skill we have, very iconic one here, is Unibeam, and with this setup we've got it on a cooldown, but it means the beam, as you've seen there a second ago, does an absolute ton of damage, and it looks absolutely amazing as well. The final beam skill we look at, this would be Micro Lasers, and this is a channeled skill here which you can fire off, and it actually appears to be the same kind of laser that he uses during his signature, the one-off. But let's now run through the rest of this level and show off these skills. This is a Repulsor Blast, then we're mixing in the various different spenders there. Unibeam again. Really do like that a lot. It's great to see that he's got that in his kit now. Before he had a version of it that wasn't as good, it was channeled and you had to hold it, but now with the cooldown it feels much better, flows so much better in his rotation. That's a Repulsor Blast, no in fact, so that's Repulsor Barrage we were doing there. So many different skills with similar names here. So here we are on to Shocker. What we'll do is we'll fire off all the skills to show them off. I do love the iconic Repulsor Blast. It takes me back to Iron Man 1 when he's just firing off the blast. Looks really nice. And that's us. Nice and easy there. So what we'll do for the next video, we've covered the beams, we'll now look at the missile side of things. This is a really fun build, and it's just as visually pleasing really as the energy beam one in a completely different direction. So let's check out all these missiles. As mentioned then, we'll now have a look at the missile side of things, and I really do like this build a lot. It looks absolutely great, and for this I'm sporting the shotgun armour. I just feel that for the missile build it seems to work really well for it. So for the main spender you have Missile Salvo, and he fires them all out and they'll home in different directions. You then have a skill we touched on to an extent in the last gameplay run through, and that was Jericho Bombardment. We used a talent to change that, but this is the original version of the skill. You have Micro Missiles. This is really good because there's no animation on these, and you just fire them off out the back of your suit. You can see them there, so you can fly along, fire them out, and even do different actual moves at the same time. So I like this a lot. We then have Risk Rocket. This would be on regular builds, this can actually be used as a main spender, but on the build I'm using here we've got it as a damage layer, and it adds a burn dot. And then we have System Shock, which you can see is firing off. It's not a missile skill, but I wanted to showcase it, and this seems the best place to do it. Finally, something I'll discuss pretty quick just while we get up to Dr. Octopus, is Arc Reactor Overload, and this actually regens a portion of your spirit and does damage and stuns enemies. So if you do find you are having spirit issues on Iron Man, you don't have a huge spirit pool, then feel free to certainly use this. Here we go, we'll fire off all these missile skills. As you can see, that looked absolutely amazing. So we've done energy beams, we've covered missiles. What we'll look at now is the Hulkbuster suit and the melee build. This is a really good fun one, you're going to enjoy this a lot. Here we go, for this final gameplay video we've brought in the big guns, and we've got the Hulkbuster outfit, which looks absolutely incredible, and it really has to be paired up with the melee side of things. So you have 2 spenders when it comes to melee skills. You have Jet Thrust Punch, and I'm not sure how you see it, but I think it's possibly Voltiac Punch is where you have there, and that's a basic one, and it gains more damage based on the amount of spirit you actually have missing. You then have for his cooldown skills, you've got Death from Above, which looks completely fantastic as he jumps up and smashes down. There we go, we can see that there, and that provides a buff to your melee skills. We then have Jet Assisted Slam, that provides your weaken, which is very important for any melee characters. And then we have Coolant Blast, which is a great CC, and it slows the enemy as well. And finishing up, we have a skill that's transformed via talent, and that would be Repulsor Spray. It's a pretty basic melee skill really, to be honest. There's nothing too interesting about it. The visuals are pretty nice, but other than that, it doesn't do much. It just does flat damage. So let's work our way through this level. We'll finish up by fighting Taskmaster at the end of it, but let's show off all these skills. There we go, it never does get all just slamming right in amongst the enemies. I do love crash down skills on any hero really, but this one's especially fun. Here we go for Taskmaster now. One thing I'll mention as I'm fighting him, I'm using a talent as well where I actually build up heat, which can give us extra damage, but it will drain our health. And once you're at max heat, if you use Coolant Blast, it will actually take all the heat away. So there's a risk reward element with this build as well. You can take up your heat, which will take up your damage, but then you'll be losing health. And once your health gets low, just hit the Coolant Blast to restore it there. But that's Taskmaster beaten. That was nice, that was fun. A good way to end this particular video. I hope you did enjoy this anyway. I hope you're enjoying this series of videos. That's 3 of them done now. I've still got quite a few more to go, but I'll get through them. So thanks for tuning in for this, and I'll see you all again soon.